Okay, Miss Katie, you had asked me to do an edit and show you a little bit of the HSL panel. So I'm going to attempt to do that now. This is an out of camera photo here. Ooh, I guess that's an out of camera photo. Okay, so this is what it looked like coming out of the camera. It's pretty red, not great here. So the first thing I would do is adjust my white balance, which isn't easy on this one to do with the eyedropper, but I will attempt. Somewhere up here, I felt like I got close. We'll start there. Okay, so it's too cold, so I'm gonna warm it up. That's a little green for me. Whoa. So we're gonna pop these magentas here. Okay, so that's close. So the first thing I like to do is make sure my exposure is right. This exposure is pretty good. I like a good contrasty photo, so I'll bump that. I like to pull my highlights down in a lot of pictures. A lot of this is preference, totally up to you. I like to pop my shadows to bring out the eyes, occasionally the whites. Bring my blacks down a little bit. I like some clarity, again, total preference. Some people say you don't need clarity in portraits, but I like it. It's my picture. I like to add a little bit of contrast here. So pull those over till you see some blowouts. The red blowouts there, and then come down here and get this guy. Pull him over until you see some blue blowouts. And then I like to pull it down even a little more. I kind of dig the moodier edits. Okay, so there's that. So you can kind of see that she is a little bit orangey yellow here. So you could come down here. You can adjust your hues. I can say I want my reds to be more orangey yellow, or I want them to be more pink. You can adjust any of these colors kind of towards where you want it to be. Saturation is how, well, obviously how saturated, I can't think of another word, the color is, and then luminance is kind of how bright it is. So just to be dramatic here, we could bump our reds up way far, and then you could see that luminance sort of keeps the color but adds some brightness.
Mommy, so who are you talking to?
The computer. That's the difference between the two here. So on her, I kind of don't want to take the color out of her skin tones, so I might play with the luminance a little bit. Keep some of that orange there, but just brighten it up. Same with the reds. Again, this is totally preference. You can just kind of play with it, see what colors kind of pop out at you here. But you can kind of play with it and see, get it to kind of how you want it to be looking. Might pop the greens a little bit because she's got some green in her eyes. Pull the blues back. Okay. So on your highlights, these are going to actually change the color of the highlights in the photo and the shadows in the photo. So we could say that we wanted blue highlights if we wanted. And then this slider says how saturated they are. So as you can see, we can change the highlights in the photo. What you change it to, again, is preference on what the picture looks like. I kind of like my highlights to be a little redder sometimes. Sometimes I put my reds in the shadows. It's just kind of up to you, and it's going to change a little bit for each picture. So sometimes you just have to play and kind of see what looks good to you. Then I like to come down and I like to add some sharpening. And I do a little masking, and luminance takes out the noise, so do a little bit of luminance. I don't like my skin to look too soft. I like to keep it pretty real. And then depending on your photo, you can add a little vignette if you want, or leave it. Yeah, so hopefully that's a little bit helpful. Really, you just gotta get in there and play and see what you love and what speaks to you. On the tone curve, you have a couple other options here for coloring. These, I feel like, are a little more difficult, but they change the overall color of the pictures too. Just another option. You can kind of play with tones there, move these around and see what they do for you. Those can be really helpful. I use these a lot when I've just got skin tones that I just cannot get right. It's really helpful to use that. So that helps you, that lets you adjust one color at a time instead of the more drastic tone curve here.